You're listening to Prosperity Report, Love and Money Podcast. I'm your host, Kanae Corder, best-selling author, international speaker, and clinical hypnotherapist specializing in financial therapy. Each week, we'll bring you actionable ideas, tips, tools, and resources to help you get the mindset shift you need to feel more confident personally and financially, so you can reduce stress, work less, and make a huge impact on your world and your income. Now, let's get into today's show. Hey there, my Prosperos. What is happening? I hope some really good stuff is happening for you as the year comes to an end. We have 3 more episodes left. This episode and 2 more. And I'm really excited about this presidential pause that we're going to do in December, because it's really going to take on, it's going to give us new life. And I know you will really enjoy what's coming in January. So that's really why we're taking December off, so we can do a deep dive and focus on January. We set some really clear targets, which we're going to walk through that process in just a few minutes. We set some really clear targets, and those targets are going to help us serve more, help us deliver really excellent content to you. It's going to help us to fulfill our deepest desires, which is to make a huge impact on the world and our income. I encourage you to begin thinking about, what is your vision for 2020? Now, I know you're an overachiever, so you probably have already been thinking about it. In fact, you're probably past 2020 on to 2025. But I'm asking you to come on back. Don't go to 2025 just yet. Stay with me and just take a step into 2020. And the first part of this, we're going to kind of visualize what you want 2020 to look like, because you've got to see it. You've heard me say it. If you believe it, you'll soon see it, right? So you've got to see it in your head first. Once you see it in your head, like once you imagine it, then you can be it, because you're not smarter than the universe, right? You're not smarter than God. If you thought it up, then the universe can do it. In fact, you are the creator. Yeah. So I'm setting all of this ground, and I know I'm preaching to the choir. You guys know this, and I'm not teaching you anything. I'm reminding you. So let's take today and next episode, because this is a 2-part episode, to remember how to set your targets. Take today to put them down. One of my biggest pet peeves is for people who get stuck in the past, stuck on what they've done, and they keep telling the same stories. And the reason why they do that is because they haven't accomplished anything since. I know, right? It's kind of sad, but you don't want to be that guy, that girl. Don't keep talking about that one accomplishment you had back in 19-something. Let's set targets for the future. Now, like I said before, I know I'm preaching to the choir, and you are an achiever. But just because you have achieved doesn't mean you have to stop, especially in the 3 areas that we're going to talk about today. So, I ask all the guests, what's your idea of prosperity? So I want to remind you today to be thinking about your idea of prosperity. What does the word prosperity mean to you? You already know this. This isn't new information. You'll just be recalling it. So given what the word prosperity means to you, as you know, here in presidential land, we believe that prosperity is made up of wealth, wellness, and wow. So your wealth factor, your wellness factor, and your wow factor. Today, we're going to set annual targets for our wealth, wellness, and wow factors. So if you don't already have a notepad out, do that. Now, I get it. You might be driving and you're like, I'm driving. How can I write? Okay, don't write. But I do have an assessment that you can complete that will help you set your targets, remind you of what your annual targets are, and then break it down into your quarterly and monthly targets. So let's begin. Let's just jump right in. You probably heard the presidential update. We're going to do another one of those, and it's going to come out at the beginning of the year. And it's going to tell you all about how we are evolving as a company. And it's big. So in 2 more episodes, so this is episode 68. So in episode 70, I am going to give you a breakdown of all the changes that are to come. So we take December off. And then in January, episode 71, we're going to do a presidential update and update you on what happened during our hiatus. And since in episode 70, we told you all about the changes that were coming, in episode 71, we'll tell you exactly how to be part of those changes. Now, episode 70, we're going to tell you if you want to be part of the early access part of these changes, we're going to tell you how you can do that, because some people like to be, in the beginning. And most of my listeners, I know you guys are like that. You're just like a early adapter. You're innovative. And so you might be wanting to get into what we're doing early. So you can say, I was there in the beginning. I love telling that story, don't you? So whether you come in to what we are doing in December or in January, we know that you're going to love it because we polled a lot of you. We got answers to questions that we just didn't have the answers to, so that we could serve you better. That's really the only word I can use. And that was our target, our focus. So let me break down target. So I use the word target similar to if you are going to, aim and shoot at something. You need to know your target, right? You need to know, what am I keeping my eye on? And just like any target, now you can decide what your target is. Maybe your target is a bullseye and you're shooting an arrow. Maybe your target is a basketball hoop and you're putting the ball in the hoop. You will decide. Maybe your target is the golf hole and you are putting or whatever towards the hole. You can decide what your target is so that you have a visual. So you're going to just know first what your target looks like for you. You don't have to match anybody else's. You don't have to do what I do. I do use a bullseye, but you don't have to. But know that your target is your goal. So don't say like, well, what's the difference between a target and a goal? There is no difference. Target is a goal. The difference is the language that you're using. We just use target here because we are visual, and that helps us set our vision on the target. And everything that we do is so intentional. So one thing leads to another. Using the word target helps us create that continuum. So that's just how simple it is. It's not a science. It's a preference. So as you begin to think about your 2020 target at the end of 2020, December 31st, 2020, what do you want to report? What do you want to say? This is what happened. So I'll share a little bit about what we want to do. We want to add 1,000 members to our VIP membership. We want to add 100 members to our elite membership. And we want to add 2 new coaches. By the end of the year, we do want to have 20 affiliates. So those are all our targets. But we've got to do something to get us there. And the first thing that we do is just to visualize that. So there's a question that you'll need to ask yourself. And when you ask yourself this question, it shifts your brain from how. Because sometimes when we're in our how can I do it? How is this going to happen? That's a stressful question. So I want to give you a question that's less stressful. Because that's the point of all of this, right? You're talking to me, you're listening to me. We're having this conversation because I am giving you tools to reduce your stress. So you're going to reduce your stress by asking yourself this question. The question is, what would it take for, and then you answer it, right? So for example, I said that we want 1,000 members. So The question I would ask then is, what would it take for Presidential Lifestyle to have 1,000 members in a VIP membership? And then I just visualize what it feels like what it feels like first, what it feels like to have 1,000 members. So go there with me. Think of your first target. Just pick one. What would it take for, and then finish that sentence. Now, next, I want you to feel the feeling of having that target. You hit it. The ball went in the hoop or in the hole, or the arrow hit the target right in the center, or whatever visualization you need. Just see that happening. How does it feel? How do you celebrate? Yes. Feels so good, right? We have 1,000 members. We are serving. We see the smiles on their faces when they post about how much fun they're having in the community. We are serving and it feels so good. Okay, so hold on to that feeling. You got that feeling, right? So ask yourself again, what would it take? So now your brain is prepped and ready because it knows how it's supposed to feel. It's, oh, what would it take to feel like that? Oh, okay. Well, here's what needs to happen. And let your brain just rewind. You know how you rewind a VHS tape? Or, okay, a DVD. Gosh, I just aged myself or dated myself. So you know how you rewind and you can see it playing back. Kind of see that in your mind's eye. And I know that not everybody can imagine, but a good deal of my listeners are creative. So I know you can. And if you can't, just sense it. Okay. Stay with me. Because I know this stuff gets like woo-woo, and some of my tools and techniques are things you've not done before, but let's keep an open mind and try it. Okay. So see the tape rolling back. You got your target. I'm going to use our 1,000 members. We got our 1,000 members, right? And then we roll back just a few days. And what was happening? Maybe there was a launch. Maybe we were talking to our affiliates, telling them just how close we were. Whatever's happening, we roll it back even more. Let's say we roll it back a couple of more weeks. What's happening? Maybe we're checking our numbers. We're seeing, wow, look at us. We're doing so well. Going back even further, rewinding that tape. Maybe we see that we dipped. We didn't hit our goals one quarter and we had to like adjust. And that adjustment is going to still help us get to our target. It's not a bad thing. It's part of the process. Let's say we just kept going back and we rewind it back even more. What do we see? Maybe I went to an event that sparked, we got a bunch of members at that event. Maybe we did a mid-year launch. It's going back. Whatever happened, maybe our members started to tell people, yeah, maybe I went on a podcast. So do that for yourself. Just start to see, roll back and see each thing that's happening that led you to, maybe you meet a certain person. Maybe you close a certain deal. Maybe you have a certain idea and that idea sparks and takes you to the next level. So you see how this goes. Just go ahead and visualize. Now you can do this without me. I'm just giving you an idea of how it works. But after you finish listening to this whole podcast, you're going to go back and you're going to do this. This is how you focus on the target. You've heard me say what you focus on expands. So just focus on the target. That is where you need to be. You focus on the target, and that target is going to change. We'll talk about it more next episode because we're focused right now on that annual target. And then you're going to focus on the feeling that that annual target is going to get you. And then next episode, I'm going to tell you how to narrow your focus. The goal that I just said, that 1,000 members, that technically is our wealth goal, but it doesn't have a number, a dollar sign associated with it. It does have a number. I mean, 1,000 members, but we're not focused on the money, because it's not about money. It's about meaning. And what would it mean for us to have 1,000 members? What would it mean to our members? What would it mean to us? What would it mean to our even greater goal of making a huge impact? So all of this is about our legacy, the presidential lifestyle legacy. All of this is about your legacy. What legacy are you leaving? You're not going to focus on that 20-year goal. You're just going to focus on 2020. So that was our wealth goal. We're also going to set a wellness goal. And for us, wellness means that we are doing our morning rituals. That's what we are so focused on in 2020. Morning and night, I should say, morning and night rituals. And then we get them done every single day. That's meditation, that's appreciation, that's hydration, because we're focused in nutrition, sleep, and physical activity. So our morning routines and our night routines are focused on optimizing, maximizing those. What we do in the nighttime is to help us have the most peaceful sleep. What we do in the morning time is to help us have the most peaceful day. So we'll set wellness goals, and I'll ask you to set them too. So go ahead and determine what your wellness goal is. And the way you do that is to create your night and morning routine. What do you want to do each night? What do you want to do each morning? And you make that a ritual, just like brushing your teeth. Like brushing your teeth is going to happen every morning, every night. That's what you do, right? It just happens. You don't have to think about it. You have to put it on your schedule. It's just part of your ritual. You don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, shoot, halfway through the day, I forgot to brush my teeth. No, because you just know how to do it. So just keep practicing, just keep doing it. And it will become so natural, so normal, so everyday. Your morning rituals will be new in the beginning, but by the end of 2020, they will be easy and they will serve you. Trust me. Now let's move on to wow, the wow factor in your life. And wow includes your fun and adventure and your love. What are you doing to cultivate the relationships in your life? Set your target, your annual target towards those relationships. Are there any relationships you need to repair? Are there any relationships you need to cultivate and maintain, resurrect? Put them on your list. And then look at your fun. And I say put fun on the schedule first. So if you're saying every single week, I want to do something fun every single week. So that means your annual goal is 52 fun things. Now that might mean you do the same thing. Like if you have a dance class you like to go to, okay, that's me, not you. Whatever it is, let's say a sports activity you like to do. You want to do it 52 times by the end of the year, or 50. Give yourself a little break there. 50 times by the end of the year. Then you have to decide why too. So that's the other thing I want you to do. A lot of W's here, right? Wealth, wellness, wow, and why. So we know what you want. That was the first thing you did. You set your wealth goal. You set your wellness goal. Now you're setting your adventure, your fun, your wow goal. And now ask yourself why. Why is this my goal? Why do we want 1,000 members? Because we know that we can serve those 1,000 people with grace and ease. We also know that it's a really easy number for us to calculate. And we didn't come up with the 1,000 true fans, but we do live by the 1,000 true fans. So each year, if we just get 1,000 true fans each year, then we reach our monetary goals. And then wellness. So why do we do our wellness goals? Because it sets the stage for the rest of our days. Our day is complete when we have our morning and night rituals. We are setting the groundwork for our wellness overall when we complete those things in our morning and night routines. And then when it comes to our fun, wow. Why we do our wow is because that is what makes everything else possible. That's like putting on our mask. The fun stuff we do, the adventure, the laughter, that really makes the work when you do have to work. And a lot of what we do is not work. And I know a lot of what you do is not work because you found your meaning. If you haven't listened long enough, so you will, because we'll guide you there. But the why you do your wow factor is so that you do want to wake up in the morning. It's that certain something that you add to your life that just lights you up. And that's why, because it lights you up. So if it doesn't light you up, it's not your wow. So take it off. You're probably just trying to please others. All right. So you've visualized your target. And I call that, kind of like ready, set. Well, first of all, you set your target. You set what it was. You visualized it. You found that feeling, that meaning that went along with it. You came up with your wealth, your wellness, your wow target. Now you know your why. And that is also what you're going to focus on, the why. That'll keep you going because willpower will fail you. And when it does, go to your why power. Now remember, the question that you're going to ask yourself is, what would it take? What would it take? And then you finish that sentence. So this is part 1. Part 2, I want you to come on back to me next week, same time, same place. And we're going to talk about how to break these down even further so that they become ingrained in your spirit, that you don't even have to think about it or worry or stress about it. How to make these targets become peaceful for you. All of you are overachievers. You reach your goals. I get it. I'm not teaching you goal setting, goal reaching, goal pursuing. I am showing you how to do it free from stress. Now, there are just a few things that you can do free from stress. Most things you're going to manage your stress, lower your stress. Anxiety is inherent in this world that we've created here. And you can't change this world in one fell swoop or wave your magic wand. But one step at a time, one small step at a time, you can change the one thing you have control over. You. So be here next week so we can continue setting our targets and creating our idea of prosperity. If you want to journey along with us, if you want accountability for these targets, here's what you can do. You can complete a target assessment. We call it where you want to be. You're probably already thinking about it. You know what you want, but it's really good to get it in writing to see it. You'll go ahead and put it in writing. We'll send you an email with that kind of recapping so you'll know what you said and you can always refer back to it. And then throughout the year, we'll just check in with you. So go ahead and go to KeneCorder.com/target so you can set your targets. We just ask you a few questions to help you set your target. And then once your target is set, you'll get your email. You'll have it. We'll have it. And throughout the year, we'll keep bringing it up. We'll check in with you monthly, quarterly, whatever. And we'll make sure you're in. So all you have to do is go to KeneCorder.com/target and you can set your targets for 2020. You can have 2020 vision. That's what we're looking for. We want 2020 vision. We don't want to look back at 2020 and say, oh, what if I wish we could have. None of that. We just want to love 2020. When December 31st, 2020 comes, we want to feel that feeling that we felt. You know that feeling? You remember that feeling from just a few minutes ago? Yeah. So I want you to hold that feeling. And we'll come back to that next week. But in the meantime, go to KeneCorder.com/target and complete your target assessment so you can set your targets for 2020. We can hold you accountable and you can hold yourself accountable as well. All right, guys, I'll see you sooner. Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you want more love and money conversations, subscribe to this podcast. Also, tell your friends about us. I'll see you next episode. But in the meantime, head on over to KeneCorder.com for more tips, tools, and resources. And go ahead and leave us a comment if you like. We'd love to hear from you. This show is not to replace professional counsel. The best advice comes from a professional you know. The topics discussed in this podcast are general in nature and are for entertainment and informational purposes only. We encourage you to meet with a professional to discuss your specific situation, whether financial or therapeutic. That's all for now. I'll see you sooner. Remember, no matter what anybody ever tells you, you can have wealth in all of its forms. Believe it, and you will soon see it.